Okay, in this tutorial, we will focusing on importing sprites and make animation. Before that, go to this web page, which is the Mugen 1.1 official document, and go to the Sprite standard and check fit. And we will use again the Saber from type Lumina. And in this example, we are going to first import the turning animation. Last time we have the stand animation. Now we are going to turn animation, which is number 5. And actually there's a number 6 is for crouch turning. It's not on the standard, but the Kung Fu Man have it. You can check. So after analyzing all the Saber sprites, I find the number 5 for Saber is at this group. Okay, so I have this little mapping relationship map, and let's find out Saber's turning animation. Okay, then let's delete Kung Fu Man's and import Saber's. Before import, of course, we will have to delete Kung Fu Man's turning. Okay, we will delete this number 5 group and the number 6 group for Kung Fu Man, and import Saber's turning and name it number 5 and number 6, where number 5 is the standard turning, the stand turning, and number 6 is the crouch turning. Name it. Okay, so let's import the swords. If you remember from last episode, I have a naming strategy. Is the corresponding sword animation is the master animation plus 10k. Okay, so also choose this pivot point. You see the Saber is floating in the air. It doesn't matter. We will adjust all the animation after we import all the sprites. One thing I will point out about jumps, group 40 is for pre-jump, which you you crouch a little bit, then you go to group 41, which is the neutral jump, and 42 is for forward jump. But type Lumia character and previous my Denki Kibungo character, their neutral jump and forward jump are the same. So basically you can have group 41 and skip group 42 and have group 43, which is the back jump. Then it's okay you don't have group 42 because your animation is not limited to, for example, your animation 42. You can use the sprites from group 41. It's okay. And here is some preview of our results, which is good, except the sprites are offset a little bit, and we will deal with it later because all the offset are at the same value. Same amount of offset is not a big issue. The only issue when happen is the offset are in different value. Okay, now we are heading to the most difficult part of create or import sprites, which is those get hit sprites. And these get hit sprites you cannot import freely. You have to follow the standard. For example, you can see the standard has 5000 group, 5001 group, and 5002 group for the first row or first line. And we will import 5000 first, or import 5010, 5020 first. We will ignore those 5001, 5002, which is on the waist or on the face. Okay, because we can use another strategy like duplicate to import those sprites. So let's focus on those pivot point is on the foot. Another thing, if you find that you cannot find any sprite which is headed down, actually you can just use Photoshop to flip the image and you will create a headed down sprites. Maybe you can say you can use animation to turn the character, but if this sprite is missing, that means your opponent or player 2, when they create a custom animation, the sprites will be not there. So it still suggests you use Photoshop to flip the scene down. Another thing is optional. You see the Saber only have this spin animation for going upward, but actually a lot of games have this spin animation rolling horizontally. So you can do the same thing. You can use Photoshop to turn the image in 90 degrees and you can have a animation for spinning horizontally. And this animation will be 5052, I believe. Another tip you can use is when you find your sprites order is being messed up, you can actually use this thing called the organizer, which is this button. You click, you can rearrange your sprites order. Okay, I've imported all the basic sprites, and all the sprites is having the same value of offsets. And as same as last time I told you before, we can use this alignment tool to move all the sprites up and down together. Okay, so we already know the offset is x is +2 and y is negative 103. Okay, this value is calculated based on I think it's the first tutorial. Okay, you can search the first tutorial for this. Then after change, all the sprites is now on the ground. And this part we will take care of the get hit sprites or damaging sprites, which the focal point or pivot point is on the waist and the head. Okay, for example, we already finished all the get hit sprites, which is pivot point is on the ground, but we are going to use this duplicate button to create 5001 group and a 5002 group. Let's click this thing twice. Okay, basically now we have 3 identical sprites. Okay, and we will rename the last 2, which we rename to 5001 and 5002. Okay, and we will rename this one. We will rename this one. Okay, 5001, 5002, and then for 5001, we drag these sprites, and the pivot point should be on the waist. Okay, and for 5002, the pivot point or focus point is on the face or head. It's up to you. And let's continue to duplicate the next sprites. and changing the group and changing the position. Okay, it's a little bit time consuming, but there's no easy way you can get around with this, so you have to be patient. And especially for this Saber have the sword, you know. That means you need to do the root character or the master character, it's herself, but you also need to do the sword later, okay? And here's a tip for you to do the sword. So basically turn on this onion skin and navigate to corresponding sprites. Okay. So you move the sword to the correct position. Attach it. Okay. And you have to do it manually. It's quite painful. Okay, that's it. So basically you are going to finish the remaining sprites. Okay, that's how you do it. So after you import all your necessary sprites, you can start to work on animation. Okay. Same as sprites, animation also have standard. For example, 0 is for standing, and 20 is for walking, 21 is for walking backward. You can check Mugen document for this. They basically, you can think like the sprite group is for a animation, and when you're making this animation, you also want to attach the hitboxes. Okay, it's not necessary you draw the hitbox very accurate, and not necessary you just need maybe two or three, or maybe more is six or five. It's really up to you. It just need to be like this is enough. So don't draw it very complicatedly. It will cause your computer to slow down. So basically, the more simple the box, the less your computer will be slowed down. And the hitbox contain two types. Okay, one is the blue type, one is this green type. The blue type only affect the current frame. Okay, the green type affect all the following frame. Okay. So for example, the standing animation, right? The standing animation, you just need to draw once, and you can just using the green box to cover the following one. Okay. For the turning, same, because she is not dramatically changing her pose, so one set of green box is enough. One thing you have to take care is you never put green box and blue box under a single frame. Maybe under the text editor you can see it, but under GUI graphic user interface you cannot see it. If you draw a blue box and a green box under a single frame, only the blue box will show, but under this text editor it will be together. So if you see this under this text editor, you better make sure there's only CLSN or there's only CLSN default. If they are together, it will crash your Mugen. And let's make one attack move. Attack move is start from group 200. Okay, if usually 200 is the first attack move, which it is light jet. So in attack move, you not only need to draw your blue boxes, you also need to draw the red boxes. The red one is the attack box. When a attack box collide with blue, it counts as a attack, a successful hit. So for the sword, I'm not intent to apply the red box on the sword. The sword is only for display, it's only for show. Actually, the attack box I will draw onto the master herself. So why is that I want to draw the attack box not on the sword? By right, it should be on the sword, right? Yes, but to make the program easier, it's way easier to code the character when actually the master is attacking. For example, if the sword land a successful hits, it's hard to tell the master, hey, you stop here and wait for the sword to finish its hit processing. So, it's quite difficult. So put the hitbox on the master is still a very good choice. And of course, the most complicated animation is those get hit animation. When you're using the Kung Fu Man as a template, actually you find when you import all the get hit sprites, your get hit animation will be kind of fine. You just need to adjust. And here you see the saber is being hit and landing towards back, but I still put the hitbox in front of her, right? Why I do this? Why I not moving those hitbox along with her body or head? Actually, this is somebody told me. Actually, this is a standard. You should not moving the hitbox with the head. Why is that? Because when somebody is hitting you and they are doing a combo, and if your head your hitbox move along with your head or body, then causing the attack party unable to do the combo. Okay, so in order to let other people beat you, you the better not to move your hitboxes. Okay, if you really want, nobody can stop you, but some of other characters combo will not work on your character. So after your hard work, let's test out your results in game. Okay. Now you see I can crouch, I can walk back, I can walk forward, even can jump, can run. You see you haven't import any code yet, and your character is functioning kind of normally. Okay? Maybe the hit spark is not right, maybe there's no sound, but you see the result is not bad.